Hey there. Full out, but at the same time, there's just a little bit of heat, so I got the fan going on. That's what you see, all this like flickering going on above me is the fan. Morning, hey, afternoon, Addison. I always said morning there. It was actually afternoon. It's kind of my morning. I've been blowing and going, but at the same time, just kind of chilling. And even though it's been a bit... Okay, wow. I'm back. I had to take my phone off internet. A great big cloud cover came in and everything just kind of went boom, gone. Absolutely gone. So, where was I? Thank you for hanging in there, Addison. I saw other people popping on and then I just lose my internet. Oh well, such is life. That's why we're recording. I think there might be a storm coming in, actually. It is beautiful out, but it is also stormy coming up. So, all right, back to what I was going to talk about, which was not noticing the level up, because I was sitting here and I was thinking about, what am I going to talk about? What's today's topic? Should I even do a live stream today? Maybe I should just not even do it. Which, it could have been one of those days. But I was down at the Four Seasons yesterday and running around at this car show, this multiple millions of dollars worth of beautiful old cars that were on show and stuff, and I was meeting with some different people. Met one of this, I don't even know what his name is, bad me, but this famous driver. He won 4 races, didn't even have a driver's license in the winning of these 4 races, did not even have a driver's license, not like on him, but he didn't even have his driver's license. He was a sweet old guy, and he gave me his VIP pass and everything. We ended up getting into all this VIP stuff, and it was just, like, the universe was just handing us stuff. We just got general admission, and went in just to see the cars, grab a drink, and just walk the beautiful golf course of Four Seasons, and just kind of enjoy a couple hours. It ended up being like a 5-6 hour day away from everything, because we got wrapped up with the people of Ferrari and got taken into the VIP areas and having, the really nice food and the drinks and all that kind of stuff, and then ended up over at the villa that Ferrari had rented with Four Seasons, and just chilling in there and talking to all the who's who of there, and just enjoying conversation and energy and the receiving of life. And then from there we ended up hopping over and having some appetizers and stuff in the evening with a group of people, and then ended up taking a golf cart back to the car and stuff. So it was really fun. There was a lot of laughter, a lot of connection, a lot of fun happening. Met a whole bunch of people that I did not know. Saw some familiar faces in the crowd that I'm not supposed to know. And just really enjoyed the day. And what it made me realize, a lot of, as soon as I got home, my kids were saying, "Oh, Mom, you're hanging out with all the millionaires and billionaires of the area, and blah, 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 and how did that feel?" And I'm like, they're just people. They're just people. And a lot of them are my clients and have been through the years, or maybe I've dated them or something like that. Who knows? I've got people all over the place. But as I was walking around out there, and I was just watching everybody, walking and talking and socializing and drinking and eating and looking at the cars and enjoying the beautiful day that it was, I also just had this this is just this is just a day. This is just a day. The feeling was not anything of there was no, I was appreciative of everything that was being given, that I was receiving in yesterday, and all the free offerings, the upgrades that I ended up receiving from the experience of yesterday. But it really made me just realize that as we level up our life, as we step into higher and higher frequencies of vibration, of flow, of receiving, it should just feel natural. It should just be like, yeah, we shouldn't be overly, we should be ecstatic in our gratitude, but not overly, just, oh my goodness about it. It shouldn't be a shocker to the system. If it's a shocker to the system, then you're not actually vibing at that new frequency. You're not actually getting into that true alignment. When it is just that expectation where desire and belief meet, there is this beautiful expectation birthed. And in that expectation, there is also an acceptance of that this just is. That's where the certainty kind of comes in. And it just is. And it just feels normal. It just feels natural. It feels fluid. It feels as though it should have always been that way. You're not sitting there in, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. If we get that, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, now we are actually sending out that frequency, that vibration in our energy of, I'm down here and what I've called in is up here. So what happens? There's this, if we don't quickly bring our vibration up to where we are meeting right now, what's coming in, then we have not expanded ourselves enough to actually hold and receive and continue the holding and receiving of that kind of energy. So our experiences will dim. We won't get the receiving that we normally do. It'll be what I refer to as a flash in the pan kind of thing, where all of a sudden, like, we get it, it's a blessing, it's amazing, boom, wow, amazing, and poof, it's gone. And then everything implodes or explodes or whatever, and we go, well, that was great, but what happened? What am I doing wrong? It's because we weren't actually vibing at that frequency, and then it just kind of goes away. But when we are vibing at that frequency, it is just this feeling of, yeah, it's just supposed to be this way, and this is just the way it is and always should be. So when we level up our life, a great way of knowing if we're actually in the frequency of it is that it just feels right. We have gratitude for the experience. We have gratitude for the blessings, but we don't have this feeling of, I can't believe this is happening to me. And that's what you have to really pay attention to. If you have that, amazing, I can't believe this is for real, then you're not actually at the frequency to keep attracting that into your life. I was walking around out there, and there was a few people, and they were just, like little kids in a candy store, you could say, or first time experience to Disneyland, where it's just that mesmerizing, bigger than life, or meeting somebody that you've always wanted to meet, a celebrity or something, and you're just in awe. You're just in awe of them, and it's just too good to be true. And I watched a few people out there in awe of meeting different people and of just the different experiences. There was one woman, she got taken into the VIP area, and she was actually part of our group, and she went into the VIP area. She got there after us, and she had been given a VIP badge just as a gift as well. And then she went in, and she was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, the food is so amazing, oh my God, this, oh my God, that. And her whole energy was just this kind of like, she was so closed, and this timidness, and there just wasn't this flow to her. And it was fun to watch, because it was fun to watch the expression of her childlike joy and gratitude for it, but also receiving the lesson of, here's how you vibe, like, here's where it's at. This is like the perfect display of if you are in it, or if you are just getting a taste of it, so that you now know what you want, what is possible. And that's the thing that we have to realize, is that when we're leveling up our life, we do get these opportunities presented to us where we have these phenomenal things happen, and it's just like, yeah, and then it goes away. The opportunity goes away, the money goes away, the love goes away, the experience, we don't get the experience for some time, and we go into like this dead zone of life, and it's just like, it feels like it's a struggle, but we've tasted something different, so we know that it's out there, and we get that taste so that we do know that it's out there, so we do know what the possibilities are, because until we actually know what the flavor is, until we can taste the frequency of that, experience it, then it's a lot harder to call something in that we haven't tapped into somewhere along the line. But when we've tapped into it, when we've experienced it, then we go, hey, I know this. This is kind of familiar. So when it comes back around, or when we get into the vibration of it, then we're like, hey, this feels familiar. I've been here. This has me right around the corner from something magical, from something amazing, from something I've been wanting to call in for so long, and I've been working on, and I feel it. Where if we haven't tasted it, if we haven't been given those little samples, then those feelings come up, those opportunities present themselves, and we might pass them by. We might not even see them. We may not even feel them. And it truly is the feeling. We may not even be able to tap in and feel. And so we end up missing. And you look out there in the world, and so many people live these lives where it's expressionless. There is no joy. They're limited joy, and they're like, yeah, well, there's little flashes of happiness in life, and the rest of it's all crap. And I think of my father-in-law from my first marriage, and he used to say, life's a bitch, and then you go to Hawaii. And he would work his butt off all year long, and then he would go to Hawaii for a month. And that was just the way it was that he just was so accustomed to that you just have to struggle, and there's not a whole lot of happiness. But then you can take this time off, and then you can go and be unhappy sitting on a beach, because ultimately you can't just be happy for that time frame. You might have a splash of happiness in that, but if you're truly not in alignment, you're truly not vibing, you're not happy, well then no matter where you're at, there you are, right? And that's what's the whole thing, is that a lot of people live their whole existence like that, where it's like this little flash of happiness, a little flash, and then they wonder, why does all the good stuff happen to them, or to them, or to them? Why am I not able to have this? Maybe I'm just not lucky. Maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe I'm not special enough, smart enough, good looking enough, talented enough, courageous enough, whatever it is, right? It's just not meant to be for me. And that's not true. It's meant to be for all of us. We can all have it. But it happens in us getting into alignment with our happiness, with our joy, being fulfilled in the moment, right now. Like right now, are you fulfilled? Right now, are you happy? Right now, can you feel good? Can you feel good that you are alive? The opportunity is around you. That it's a beautiful Sunday. No matter where you're at in this world, it's this amazing day because you've been given a new day of opportunity, a new day of connection, a new day of going into your own internal world and learning about yourself, experiencing yourself, learning how to speak your truth, learning how to ask for your desires, learning how to desire things and getting right with that. Just having the blood pump through your veins and the air go into your lungs and your heartbeat pumping and your brain working, that's a miracle. And that's gives you opportunity, because if you have that stuff going on, you can truly make whatever you want. There was that years ago, as I was saying that about the blood pumping through the veins, and I hear people, yeah, well, but I have this disease, and I have that disease, and I have this illness, and I have this ailment, and I'm broken here, and blah, 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 and you don't understand. Hold on. Yeah, my phone is just between the sun and the fan. Oh, well. There is a story about a man, I believe he is referred to as the Miracle Man, and I think it was back in the 70s or 80s. Don't quote me on it. But I want to say the 80s. Maybe it was the 90s. Anyways, a long time ago. If you look up Miracle Man, it should come up. And what it was he had gotten into, I don't remember the details on it, but he had gotten into an accident where his spinal column had been messed up, and he ended up in the hospital. And pretty much all he could do was blink. And he was a prisoner in his own mind, and they told him that he was going to be a vegetable for the rest of his life. It was hopeless. There was no coming back from this. And that, that he was basically going to be hooked up on tubes and laying in a bed as a vegetable for forever. And in his mind, he made himself determined, and he committed that, I believe it was in 2 years, or maybe it was less than that, maybe it was only a year, he committed that, I think it was actually a year, like by the next Christmas that he would walk out of the hospital. That was his commitment to himself. And he just started to do the mental belief structure practices of that he could do it, no matter what the doctors were telling him, no matter how many tears were being shed by his family, no matter how much fear he was having. He laid there, and every single day he worked on his mind, he worked on his belief system, he worked on overcoming his fears and telling himself that he could, and not only that he could, but that he would. He committed to walking out of that hospital by the next Christmas. And as time went on, he started to develop muscle mass, and he started to be able to come out of the vegetable state that he was in, and he started to do the physical therapy in the hospital and everything. And lo and behold, by the next Christmas, I believe he was on crutches, but he did walk out of the hospital. He was not back to being the man that he was prior to going into the hospital, but he did walk out of the hospital, and he went from a state that they said, "You're not coming back. This is absolutely impossible." And he created his own miracle with his thinking. His story is one that, we hear about all these stories, and I love people who overcome the greatest of obstacles and everything, and their determination, because they put the rest of us to shame. Here we are with able bodies and minds and opportunities and all this stuff. And then you hear somebody who has had this astronomical crap happen to them, and they're completely destitute, and there's truly no way, it's just not feasible for them to be able to carry on. And they overcome it. They overcome it, and they create their own miracle. And then we run around and we go, yeah, but I have to work a little harder. Yeah, but I have to do this. Yeah, but I don't have the time for that. Yeah, but I don't have the support. Yeah, but you just don't understand. I'm a single parent. Yeah, but you just don't understand this. And we make excuses and excuses and excuses. And we have all these beautiful reasons as to why we can't create our own miracles. How would you do if your whole life was taken away and you were stuck in a bed, hooked up to some tubes and told, you ain't getting out of this. You're going to be a vegetable for the rest of your existence. This is it. This is as good as it gets. Could you create your own miracle? Probably not. Not if you're not even able in this moment to put your head down and say, no, I can level up my life, and I can make my own miracle right now. I can level up my life, and I can go, no, this is the way it's supposed to be. I can take the energy that I feel at my core, in my heart, and in my soul, and I can start speaking my truth, and I can step out there on that ledge, and I can fly. I know I can. I can move forward, and I can get determined, and no matter what it takes, no matter how much I have to think about how powerful I can be, think the positive things instead of the negative things, emotionalize this and let myself feel what I'm feeling, but at the same time come back to, how can I be happy right now? How can I feel fulfilled right now? How can I be in gratitude for life right now? Because I'm not laying in a bed hooked up to tubes being told that this is it. I don't have that. I don't have those real problems. My problems aren't really that real, are they? My problems are right here, right between my own two ears, right here in the way I'm not being mature in my emotions, right here where I'm stomping my feet and throwing my fists like a 2-year-old, instead of going, no, I am powerful, I am strong, I am absolutely fucking amazing at manifesting, because look at the shit that I've manifested. Granted, it might be shit. I still manifested it because I can see how my thoughts, how my emotions, how my actions have created this chaos. And that means I'm a really powerful manifester because it actually came about. So shit, if I can manifest that, all it takes is a little bit of change of focus, and I can manifest anything else. How about that? How about that for a level up? How about that for a step into your own courage and leveling up and taking life by the horns and creating your own damn fucking miracle for the month of October, because October is right around the corner. What do you want the last quarter of 2019, the last little blip of this decade? Because we're entering a new decade. We're not only entering a new year come 2020, we're entering a new decade of world existence, of our existence. So what do you want? Do you want to level up your income? Do you want to level up your love life? Do you want to level up your health? Do you want to level up your freedom? Level up your time? Level up the quality of attention that you give to your children, to your friends, to your partner? Do you want to break free from the bondages that you have created in your life? Do you want to travel more, live more, experience more, connect more, feel more, love more? What do you want for 2020? Because right now is the time to start it. Right now is the time to get that practice time in. Over the last quarter of this year is where you can get in there and you can do all the mind work. You can go in and you can start to align things. You can go, okay, here's where I'm really fucking up, and here's how I can shift it. Here's how I can pivot over here. Here's how I can do this. And I have 90 days to create the habit. To create the habit so that when I enter into 2020, I'm going to be fucking dynamic. 2020's got nothing on me. I own 2020. Yeah. How about that? How about that for starting a new year and starting it right now, making that commitment to self, to level up your life, and to realize that it should come naturally, because we're forward moving. As a human being, we are forward moving. We are always going forward. Our souls aren't looking back. God's not looking back. The world's not looking back. The universe isn't looking back. Universal laws aren't looking back. Our mind, our ego will have us look back. But do we want to live in yesterday or yesteryear or last decade? No, we don't, right? We want to move forward. And hopefully you want that forward movement to be positive and progressive and expansive and giving you everything that your heart and soul knows that you're worthy of. That your ego might have you believing otherwise of, but your heart and soul knows. So what ignites your soul? What ignites your soul? Ask yourself that today and look at how you can change what you've been thinking, what you've been feeling, and pivot it over. Change that over to something that feels good, allows you to embrace who you truly are. And how can you make your miracles start to appear today? Because if that man, that miracle man, I think I don't remember what his name is. I'm gonna have to look him up. But if that miracle man could go from vegetable state to walking out of the hospital a year and a half later, what can you do with the next 90 days? Because you might feel like you're in a vegetable state, but you don't have to be. Your body's working, your mind's working, your lungs are pumping air, your heart is pumping blood, your feet are working, your hands are working. You have the ability to feel, to create, to touch your life and create miracles. What do you have to do to make that happen? What are the thoughts that you need to think? What are the things that you need to feel? What are the actions you need to take? How can you make your miracle happen right now for 2020 and forward moving? What does the next decade of your life look like? If I've said anything in this conscious coffee that touched you in any possible way, made you think of somebody, hit the share button. Hit the share button, put the conscious coffees out there, keep supporting them. And as always, stop existing, start living. If you want to reach out to me about one-on-one coaching or the events that I have going on local or online to help you create that fuck yes life, to create the miracles that you are worthy of, and level up today. Don't let life take you by awe in a good or a bad way. Instead, own your miracles, because you are the creator of them. You are the manifester of your life. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. You can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com.